Hello, so this video is going to be the vintage tag. I have seen the vintage tag floating around on YouTube and I thought it sounded quite interesting and I thought it's a good way for you guys to learn a bit more about me and my vintage style. So yeah, I think there are about 20 questions, so I better get straight into it. So question 1, who are your style icons? So for me, my style icons were the everyday women. So people like my grandmothers, they're my style icons, so looking at them, they looked amazing in the 40s, which was when they were in their 20s. Also, just general everyday women where you see everyday photographs of them. The real women, not the film stars. I don't take inspiration from them, to be honest. They don't, you know, I just like normal women of the day. 2, what is your favourite way to get inspired? So for me, it's looking at old photographs. So it might mean looking at old photographs of my grandmothers, looking beautiful. Or it might be getting out some source books and looking at old photographs, or going through magazines and having a look at some women there. But generally I can just look at pictures of my grandparents and just go, yeah, inspiration. 3, what is your most used hair tool? Probably hairbrush. Other than hairbrush, I don't know actually. Hairbrush. It's gotta be hairbrush, of course it is. 4, what is your most used beauty tool / product? Probably lipstick. I tend to wear lipstick quite a lot. I think it helps just to give a bit of a vintagey vibe, even if I'm perhaps not looking so vintage. I mean, I'm not looking vintage today. This is like just a modern blouse, but yeah, I think lipstick helps to give a bit more of a vintagey look. 5, updo, down or half and half. Most of the time I wear my hair down. Occasionally I will wear it half and half because my hair is quite thick. So if it's getting on my nerves, I will just put half of it up and then it becomes a bit less poofy. 6, is vintage something you do every day, on weekends or special occasions? Unfortunately now it is definitely more special occasions. With the work that I do, it's just generally impractical to wear vintage, so yeah, special occasions, but I think that makes it feel more special, if that makes sense. I appreciate it a bit more because I don't wear it very often. 7, what is your favourite blush, eyeshadow and lipstick? In all fairness, I don't really care. My favourite blush is just like generally a slightly light pink blush to make me look less like a ghost. My favourite eyeshadow used to be one from Benefit, but because I've changed up my makeup and gone cruelty free, it's no longer that, so I don't have one anymore. And then lipstick, it is just a matte red generally, or just a red in general. Like today isn't a matte red, but it's just a red. 8, dress, skirt or pants? I presume trousers, because pants is American. In the summer, dresses. In the winter, skirts with tights. Also with this question, heels or flats? Generally a very small heel, like a flat shoe, but then like an inch or half an inch heel. I'm 5'10", so I don't need extra height. I just like it to make the dress look a bit more feminine perhaps, so yeah. 9, off the rack or homemade? Both. I have a selection of different dresses. Most of them are probably homemade, to be honest, but the style of off the rack dresses are beautiful. However, homemade comes with a bit of an extra story, doesn't it? So I like both and happy to wear both. 10, do you swing dance? No, I don't dance in general. I have 2 left feet, can't dance. Yeah, just no. I'd love to. I mean, I love watching things like Strictly Come Dancing, but no, can't dance at all. 11, how long have you been living vintage? I've been living vintage for, about 3-4 years, something like that. No, probably about just over 3 years. Yeah, so not too long really. 12, favourite perfume? My favourite perfume is Victoria Beckham. I think it's Intimately Beckham, but I'm not sure. It comes in like a pink box, and I know someone tried to buy it for me for Christmas and they couldn't get it because they've stopped selling it now. So I'm like, oh no. So I'm gonna try and go online in the next few days and try to get a load of them so it doesn't run out. But I'm really sad, so after that I'm gonna have to try and find a replacement. Sad times. 13, favourite skincare product? Water. Just generally make sure you drink enough water is what I focus on for my skin. If I'm not drinking enough water, my skin shows me. So drink water and your skin gets much better. 14, what does your family think of your style? My family quite like it actually. I think because it's done on special occasions, they always like, oh, you look nice. So I think sometimes they're a bit shocked, but most of the time they're like, that's nice. 15, favourite accessory. This for me is probably a necklace that my parents got me for Christmas one year. It's a 20s, 30s purple. It's beautiful. Probably that. 16, do you find the vintage community welcoming or snobby? To be honest, I'm not part of the vintage community online. I find the type of vintage videos that I do quite different to other vintage videos. Like, I don't really do hair or makeup or stuff like that. I do more the history based stuff rather than the style and the look of it. But that's just personal preference, so I can't judge on that. Although I'm sure probably everyone's lovely anyway. But generally when you meet other vintage kind of enthusiasts out in the streets and things, most of the time they are so nice and just so happy to talk to you, and yeah, especially if you're dressed in vintage as well. So yeah, most of the time, very, very nice. 17, what drew you to vintage style? I think for me, I've always been a lover of history, and I think because of that, it was very natural to go from history into vintage. I mean, I used to be obsessed with, still am obsessed with, like Anne Boleyn and hairstyle. And I think it's very natural to go from loving the history of fashion into loving vintage fashion. So historical fashion to vintage, I think that was just a very natural progression for me, so that's kind of how it happened. Also as well, historical fashion is something that's quite difficult to actually physically study, in the sense of getting some physical dresses there. You know, if I could bag myself a Tudor dress, by all means, yes I would, but I can't. So vintage is so much more available and just accessible, so yeah. 18, favourite place to shop vintage. Generally I love shopping in vintage shops. There's no feeling like it. However, I do find vintage shops are often quite expensive, especially for essentially what it is, which is second-hand clothing, where some of them are not that beautifully made or aren't that great quality. So nowadays I tend to shop a lot online. I go on Etsy and there's some great vintage sellers on there, so just go and check them out. I do stick to UK sellers though, so check yours out in your own country. 19, what eras are your favourites? So for me, my favourite vintage eras are actually what kind of suits my body type. I'm 5'10", so I don't tend to wear things from the 60s because they tend to be a little bit too short, and I've got an hourglass figure, so I've only got one 20s dress because nothing else tends to fit me. I tend to wear 30s, 40s and 50s because that's what suits my figure. If I'm going out for a meal though, I will avoid 30s clothing because it is still quite clingy. But yeah, those are the areas in which I wear most of and therefore have fallen in love with a bit more. I think if I could wear things from the 20s or 60s, I'd love those, but yeah, very happy with my 30s, 40s and 50s. Final question, 20, favourite vintage object you own? I love my furniture, including some behind me. I think, however, it would be my dressing table, including all the accessories on it, because it's generally just such a lovely piece of furniture, but also I've got vintage makeup items, and I've got a dressing table set which was my grandmother's, which is an original Art Deco, and my parents for Christmas also bought me an original 20s kind of sunburst trinket box, and it's beautiful. I may do a dressing table tour if you'd be interested in seeing that. Just let me know in the comment section. So yeah, dressing table. Probably cheating, but I don't care. So that is the vintage tag. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about my vintage style. Let me know in the comment section if you would like that video on my dressing table, and also let me know if any of these answers to the questions surprised you in any way. So I hope you're having a lovely day, and I shall see you soon for the next video. Take care for now. Bye!